Gentlemen, stop drinking green tea by itself. Stop assuming one clean cup is enough. Because for a lot of men over 50, that habit is leaving blood flow support on the table. And if you have noticed weaker response, slower recovery, lower stamina, or less reliable performance, comment flow below, because what I am about to show you changes how that cup works inside your body. Most men think green tea is already doing the job, that if they drink it every morning they are automatically protecting circulation, energy, and performance, but that belief is incomplete, and in many cases it is the reason they never feel the real difference they were hoping for. Because the real issue is not green tea alone. The real issue is whether the active compounds in that tea survive digestion, reach your bloodstream, protect nitric oxide, support endothelial function, and actually help your blood vessels relax when your body needs that response most. And that is where almost everyone gets this wrong. Not because they are lazy, not because they are aging too fast, but because they were never told that green tea can be dramatically amplified by a very specific combination, a combination that supports blood flow through multiple mechanisms instead of just one. I am Dr. Clara Vance, and in this video, I am going to show you exactly why green tea on its own is only part of the story. What hidden vascular mechanism affects so many men after 50? The precise ingredients that can change the outcome, and the exact timing, preparation, temperature, and amounts that make the difference between a weak ritual and a remarkable one. And this is exactly why old solutions so often disappoint. Because many products focus on a single pathway, a single herb, a single stimulant, a single promise, while ignoring the real bottleneck. Nitric oxide has to be produced, protected, delivered, and received by blood vessels that are still responsive enough to open. Green tea matters because it contains catechins, especially EGCG, and these compounds have been studied for their role in antioxidant defense, endothelial support, and nitric oxide activity, which is one reason green tea keeps showing up in research around vascular health, metabolic health, and healthy aging. But green tea alone is not the finish line, it is the foundation, because even a strong ingredient becomes weaker if its active compounds are degraded too early, absorbed too poorly, or used without the supporting compounds that help extend its real effect inside the body. So let me show you the hidden cause most men never hear about. You are not just dealing with low nitric oxide output. You are often dealing with what I call vascular signal loss, where oxidative stress, poor absorption, blood sugar instability, local inflammation, and stiffened vessel response all pile on top of each other and mute the signal your body is trying to send. Long means your body may still be attempting to create the right chemistry, but the response is blunted, the vessels do not open fully, oxygen delivery is weaker, tissue perfusion falls short, and the end result is a body that feels older than it should, not because it is finished, but because the signaling system is underperforming. This is where the new mechanism begins. Not more stimulation, but better physiology. Not forcing the body, but improving the conditions that allow blood flow to happen. And that is why the green tea formula I am about to give you works through what I call the dual-phase vascular activation pathway. Phase 1 is nitric oxide activation and protection, helping your body create the dilation signal and defend it from oxidative breakdown. Phase 2 is vascular responsiveness, helping vessel walls, smooth muscle, circulation dynamics, and metabolic stability become more ready to respond when that signal arrives. That combination matters, because if you only activate nitric oxide without protecting it, the effect fades, and if you protect it without improving responsiveness, the vessels still do not open the way you want. And if you ignore inflammation, blood sugar swings, or poor absorption, you keep losing power before the system ever reaches full effect. So ingredient number 1 is fresh lemon juice. And I know that sounds simple, maybe too simple, but simple is often where the biggest mistakes hide, because one of the biggest problems with green tea is that many of its most valuable compounds are not as stable or bioavailable as people assume once digestion begins. When green tea is taken by itself, a substantial portion of those catechins may never make it through the digestive process in a way that gives you the full vascular benefit, which means men often think they are doing something powerful while only receiving a fraction of the potential. Lemon changes that equation, because its natural acids help create a more favorable environment for preserving T polyphenols, and vitamin C itself adds antioxidant support that may help protect nitric oxide and support collagen structure in vessel walls, which matters for flexibility, resilience, and healthy circulation. In other words, lemon does not just make green tea taste cleaner, it helps make green tea work harder, and that is the first big shift. Not more tea, but better survival of the active compounds that matter. If this already makes sense, type lemon below, because most men were never taught this step. Now ingredient number 2, raw honey, not ultra-processed honey syrup, not a sugar blend pretending to be honey, but real raw honey in a controlled amount, because this is not about dumping sweetness into your cup. This is about adding natural compounds that support endothelial health, antioxidant defense, and a more sustainable daily ritual. Raw honey contains small amounts of bioactive compounds, including flavonoids and phenolics, and while it is not a miracle by itself, it can complement green tea by adding another layer of antioxidant support, while also making the formula easier to use consistently, and consistency is what turns a drink into a protocol. That matters more than most men realize, because the best formula in the world fails if you do not use it long enough for your vascular system to benefit from repeated support. And the taste barrier is one of the biggest reasons men quit otherwise useful routines. Now ingredient number 3, fresh ginger, and this is where the formula starts becoming more than a tea upgrade, because ginger has long been valued for circulation, warmth, digestion, and inflammatory balance, and those benefits matter when you are trying to improve not just nitric oxide levels, but actual blood flow dynamics. Fresh ginger contains gingerols and related compounds that have been studied for antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects. And that matters because inflamed, irritated vascular tissue is less responsive, less flexible, and less capable of opening efficiently when circulation demand rises. There is also a digestive advantage here, because when digestion is sluggish, absorption can be less efficient. And when you are building a blood flow drink around multiple active compounds, better digestive support can improve the entire experience from intake to effect. Ginger is also one of the fastest ways to make this formula feel physical, because many men notice warmth, better circulation awareness, and a more active body response, not a jittery stimulant buzz, but a gradual sense that the system is waking up. Ingredient number 4 is cayenne pepper, and this is the step that separates a pleasant wellness drink from a real vascular performance formula, because cayenne introduces a different pathway entirely, one that works through sensory vascular signaling rather than relying only on nitric oxide chemistry. Capsaicin, the active compound in cayenne, has been studied for its interaction with receptors involved in heat and vascular response. And that matters because one of the missing links in circulation decline is reduced responsiveness. The body's signaling network simply does not fire with the same sharpness it used to. A tiny amount of cayenne can help trigger a stronger warming and circulatory response, and when used properly, it complements the green tea pathway instead of replacing it, which is exactly what this protocol is designed to do. Multiple supportive signals, one coordinated result, not one pathway, but several. Not one ingredient doing all the work, but each ingredient covering a different weakness. That is the difference between a random health habit and a targeted blood flow protocol. Ingredient number 5 is Ceylon cinnamon, and this one is not here for flavor either. It is here because stable circulation is not just about dilation, it is also about metabolic calm, and men ignore this piece all the time, especially men who deal with energy dips, larger waistlines, sugar cravings, or inconsistent stamina. When blood sugar is repeatedly high, vascular tissue pays the price, oxidative stress rises, endothelial function can worsen, and blood vessels gradually become less flexible, less efficient, and less cooperative, which is why better metabolic control supports better circulation, even if men do not make that connection right away. Ceylon cinnamon has been studied for its role in glucose metabolism and insulin sensitivity, and that makes it useful here, because this formula is not built for a 10-minute sensation. It is built to support the environment that helps your circulation keep performing over time. And yes, I said Ceylon cinnamon, not cassia, because if you are using this regularly, You want the gentler long-term option, which is one more example of why precision matters in this formula. Same category, very different choice, very different outcome. Now let me show you the mechanism clearly. Green tea helps stimulate and protect nitric oxide. Lemon helps preserve and support the active compounds. Ginger helps with inflammatory balance and circulation readiness. Cayenne helps activate vascular signaling and warmth. Ceylon cinnamon helps support metabolic stability. And raw honey helps round out the formula while making it sustainable. This is why I call it the dual-phase vascular activation pathway, because you are supporting both the chemical side and the response side, both nitric oxide protection and vascular receptivity, both endothelial support and circulation dynamics, both immediate warmth and longer-term function. That is also why old solutions stay incomplete, because a capsule that only pushes one pathway may do something, but not enough. While this combination helps address the hidden cause, weak blood flow is often not one problem. It is a stack of smaller problems happening at the same time. Now let us talk proof, because I know men want more than pretty words. Green tea catechins, especially EGCG, have been studied extensively for antioxidant support, endothelial function, and vascular health. Ginger has research behind inflammation balance and circulation support. Cinnamon has research around glucose control. Cayenne has research around vascular signaling and metabolic activation. Lemon and vitamin C have long-standing relevance in antioxidant physiology. The real takeaway is not that one ingredient is magic. The real takeaway is that science repeatedly points to the same direction. Better vascular health depends on reducing oxidative burden, supporting endothelial performance, maintaining healthy vessel responsiveness, improving metabolic balance, and helping blood move with less resistance. And that is exactly what this formula is built to do. Not like a drug, not like a guaranteed treatment, but like a highly intelligent daily protocol that supports the biology men tend to lose with age, stress, poor diet, and years of underperforming circulation. So here is the exact formula. Use 1 cup of quality green tea, ideally loose leaf or a good bag without added junk. Heat water to about 75 to 80 degrees Celsius, not aggressively boiling. Steep the tea for 3 to 5 minutes. Add 1 teaspoon of freshly grated ginger during the steep. Then let the tea cool until warm, not scalding. Add the juice of half a fresh lemon. Add 1 teaspoon of raw honey. Add a small pinch of cayenne pepper, roughly 1/8 of a teaspoon to start. Add half a teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon. Stir well and drink slowly. For men who tolerate it well and want a stronger version, you can increase the Ceylon cinnamon to 1 teaspoon, and in some cases increase cayenne slightly, but do not jump straight into a heavy dose, because precision beats aggression, and your body will tell you very quickly whether the warming level is right. Drink it once daily in the morning, or once in the morning and once early afternoon if caffeine does not bother you. But do not take it too late in the day if you are sensitive, because even mild stimulation can affect sleep, and poor sleep undermines vascular recovery, hormonal balance, and body performance. And here is a detail most men miss. Do not add lemon or honey when the tea is still too hot, because excessive heat is not your friend here, especially if you are trying to preserve more delicate compounds. The goal is not speed. The goal is to protect what makes the formula worth drinking. Now let me handle the objections, because I know what men ask. What if I have a sensitive stomach? Then start lighter, less cayenne, less ginger, more gradual use. What if I do not feel anything the first day? That does not mean it is not working, because this is not just about sensation, it is about repeated vascular support. What if I am watching sugar? Then keep the honey minimal, or leave it out if needed. Another objection. What if I have blood pressure issues or take medication? Then use common sense and speak with your clinician before making it a daily ritual, especially if you are on anticoagulants, blood pressure medication, glucose-lowering medication, or have reflux or digestive sensitivity. Smart use always beats reckless use. And no, more is not better. More cayenne does not mean more blood flow. More honey does not mean more benefit. More steeping does not mean more power. Too much heat, too much spice, too much guesswork. That is how men ruin a good formula. Precision is power here. If you are still with me, comment precision, because that one word is what separates results from disappointment. Now let us talk about what men actually care about, the feeling. Better circulation does not just live on a lab chart. You feel it. You feel warmer. You feel less flat. You feel your body respond faster. You feel less hesitation, less sluggishness, less heaviness. Physical confidence starts returning in little ways first, then in bigger ways. You may notice more stable energy in the morning, a cleaner sense of alertness, less of that drag that makes you feel older than you are. You may notice your workouts feel smoother, your walks feel easier, your recovery feels less delayed, your extremities feel less cold, your body feels more cooperative. And for men focused on pelvic blood flow and male performance, let us be honest, that is often where the emotional weight sits, because when circulation dips there, confidence dips with it. And what many men want is not a temporary jolt, but a body that feels capable again, responsive again, reliable again. That is why this formula matters, because it is not built around panic, it is built around support. Support for endothelial health, support for nitric oxide, support for vascular flexibility, support for metabolic stability, support for oxygen delivery, support for the kind of physiology that makes a man feel more like himself again. And the longer view matters most, because if you make this part of a broader routine, better food, better sleep, more walking, less smoking, more hydration, less late-night sugar, this tea can become more than a drink. It becomes a daily trigger, a reminder, a vascular reset, a simple act that points your biology in the right direction. Not because green tea is magic, not because lemon is a secret cure, not because cayenne performs miracles, but because when the right ingredients are combined with the right timing and the right purpose, they stop acting like random health tips and start acting like a system for better blood flow, a system for better vascular tone, a system for more efficient oxygen delivery, a system for less cellular fatigue, a system for more stable body performance, a system that supports confidence, endurance, recovery, and the way you move through your day. So never drink green tea without this, if your goal is real circulation support, because the difference is not just taste, the difference is mechanism, the difference is absorption, the difference is vascular signaling, the difference is whether your body receives a weak signal or a coordinated one. Build the cup correctly, use the exact amounts, respect the temperature, stay consistent. Watch how your body responds over the next few weeks, not just in energy, not just in warmth, but in control, steadiness, confidence, and the feeling that your system is finally getting proper support. I am Dr. Clara Vance, and if you want the body to perform better, you do not begin with desperation, you begin with physiology, you begin with blood flow, and sometimes the most remarkable difference starts with one cup, one formula, one smart daily ritual done the right way.